Hello everyone, how are you doing on this fine day? I know it's been a while, but here we are with part 1 of DestinyQuest Raiders. I've got two sheets, well, character sheets somewhat that I've got. And let's just dive straight into it. I've got my pencil, I've got my my book, I've got my pad underneath my combat pad. So I'm throwing things around as I do this. I'm excited to do this, so we're just going to dive straight into it. I've got my little... That's so I can make little notes. I know that every time we go into a fight, we've got 30 HP as a party in total. And when we do a fight, we gain full HP. I think it's said. But let's just... We'll go through this as we go through this. Johan leads the way down the sloping passage. Its walls carved out of the black Peruvian rock. Struggling already. Jesus. Like the ruins above, the stonework is cracked and flaking away, hinting at some former decoration, geometric patterns, and snake-like coils. Dust motes drift lazily through the pale light cast by the jewel in Johan's sword. I was going to say Johan then, I apologise. He pauses occasionally to thoroughly study the carved walls, his keen eyes flickering from one design to the next. He mutters to himself, then continues onwards. Scarlet follows close behind, a permanent scowl etched across her face. "This was a big mistake," she grunts, her bow clasps tightly in her fist. "Where is your sense of adventure?" replies Johan, casting a cursory glance back at her. "Aren't you a bit over-eager for all this?" Johan snorts. "I tried the quiet life, not for me. Dare say that's true for the both of us." He stops and gives her a questioning look. Scarlet grimaces, her narrowed eyes glittering back from beneath her hood. "You never told me where you're from," states Johan, looking her up and down. "Not the typical mercenary sword I have to." His words fall short as the tunnel is suddenly filled with a loud and echoing rumble. Scarlet spins on her heels, her attention drawn back to the entranceway. The stone block is sliding back into place, grinding and scraping until it finally closes with an ominous boom. I'm so sorry, I've never been able to pronounce that word before in my life. Don't know why I struggle with it, but there we go. She lets out a nervous breath. "I guess there's no going back." Johan sucks his teeth. "Yeah, seems that way. Don't worry, I'm sure there's some mechanism for opening from the inside. But for now, I'd rather find out what is hiding down there." He turns and continues down the passage. It eventually levels off, leading the pair into a small, round chamber. The floor carries the remnants of a circular display, much of its carvings having worn down or broken away entirely. Facing each other across the chamber are two arched recesses. In one, there is a statue of a man, clad in a plate armor and gripping a broadsword. The other statue has mostly crumbled away to ruin, but the shorn fragments suggest a woman's frame and a decorative gown. Oh, me struggling with words. So, will we get Scarlet to investigate the warrior's statue, or Johan examine the floor carving? I think what I would like is for Scarlet to investigate the warrior's statue, so I'm going to 42. "Ever get the feeling you're being watched?" Scarlet steps up to the statue of the warrior, her head barely level with the man's chest. He was a big fellow, if this is anything to go by. She looks up at the face of the man with a curious expression. Wonder if he was fun at parties. Johan's attention shifts from the floor carving to the statue. He steps closer, nodding thoughtfully. "This is Sorin Dragos Perov. He was a king from the Dark Ages. History speak of his alliance with the Dwarves. That is dwarven plate, and the sword is their work too. It was known as Grief, and aptly named, I assure you. With that blade he forged a legend." Scarlet gives Johan a suspicious frown. "You some kind of scholar? You seem to know a lot about all this." He smirks. "My dear, this is rudimentary knowledge. Now, if I was to tell you about this murderous cruelty and indulgences, the burning of the Crimson Palace, the day of 100 executions, the cage of thorns in which he would imprison..." Scarlet raises a hand. "Okay, I get the picture that he wasn't a nice guy. I figured that part out for myself. We'll just move on. She jerks her thumb in the direction of the passageway. I'm here for treasure, remember? Turn to 18. Up ahead, the passageway bends away to the left. In the right-hand wall, there is an archway, leading through into a side chamber. Johann tentatively peers inside, raising his illuminated sword to throw light across his own coffin. What's in there? Asks Scarlet, leaning around to get a better look. Before Johann can reply, there is the sound of booted feet crunching through the dirt, accompanied by the guttural voices of goblins, telling they are arguing or grumbling over something. Torchlight flickers from the bend in the passageway, the sounds getting louder. Oh dear, Johann blows out a sigh. More of our goblin friends. Scarlet draws back her bow, crimson arrow sizzling into life. Good. Let's surprise them with a little greeting. Johann startles, glaring at her in wonderment. Who's overeager now, my dear? I suggest we pick our fight. Sounds like quite a lot of them. We're wiser to hide in here. He nods to the side chamber. Okay, so we get an option to either stand their ground to confront the goblins or hide in the chamber. And I think normally in these sort of situations I would totally hide, but I just want to see how the combat is. So I'm going to go to do the combat. We're going to turn to 96. See how we die. A troop of goblins march around the corner, led by a hulking hobgoblin, his face contorted into an ugly sneer. I tells you, this patrol business is a waste of... He stops up short, several of the goblins behind him thumping into his back with a surprised hoot. He stares goggle-eyed at Johann and Scarlet. Good evening, says Johann politely. What the hell? Gasps one of the goblins, reaching up on tiptoe to peer over another's shoulder. Ain't no one meant to be down here. The hobgoblin tugs his sword free, the blade crusted with rust and grime. Rocky's right, you ain't meant to be here. The boss don't like intruders. I don't suppose we can talk this through, come to an amicable arrangement. Johann nervously licks his lips as he eyes the assortment of spears and knives on display. And I mean what? Glowers the hobgoblin, his face turning uglier. I don't do Ammy anything. Stick 'em, boys! With a series of excited cries and giggles, the goblins rush forward, no doubt believing strength in numbers will win the day. However, the passage is narrow, which is not in their favour, and the charge soon becomes a disorganised rabble as they push and shoulder their way forward. Turn to combat chart 14 to battle the goblin. This is what our character sheets are, by the way. So this is Johann, this is the stuff he can do, and then we've got Scarlet here. We don't have these people yet. We have multiple other things. We have different achievements that we have. Choice words, we've got bonus achievements. These are things we can get with hazards. And then we're going to... It's a combat chart 14, I believe. Which is this one. Oh, there's quite a few. Okay. So, I believe we go first. And then they do. These are the things that we can do. Each one. So this is Johann, and then we've got Scarlet. So let me just double check. Okay, so the portrait displays the type of monster in each group and the number of boxes represent their health. Okay, your goals to combat is to cross out all the boxes, reducing each group to 0 health. The number side of the triangle is the damage that each monster will do to your team. The higher the number, the stronger the monster. Your team will always start each new combat at full health. Your starting team has 30 health. This will increase as you recruit further heroes. Okay, so we attack first, then the monsters attack, and then it's pretty much going backwards and forwards with that. So, we attack first. So, we have 30 health. So, rank 1 is the things is the closest, and then rank 2 is here. This is the triangle, is the damage that they can do. I'll bring that up closer, but we're going to be going first. So, I can only do slashing, blade, and quick aim. That's all we can do at the moment because we've not leveled up. So, let's do this then. This is so unusual because normally with these books, they're choose your adventure books. Same as this, we normally roll dice. This is unusual. This is a nice change, to be honest. So, the first thing we can do is slashing. We deal 2 damage to any monster in here. So, we're going to go with the ones that can do most damage is this. So, whoop. The reason I'm using a pencil, because I can erase it out when next time I want to do this again. Or I'll just buy a new combat book, either way. Okay, so that's his turn. We're going to go to Scarlet, and then they're going to have a go. So all Scarlet can do is deal 1 damage with quick aim to any monster group in rank 1 or 2. I will do that. So I believe only these ones at the front can hurt us. The others do not have bone arrows or anything like that. So that's what we're going to be doing. So this is actually going to be quite a bit. So we have 30 health originally. Oh, damn. So, let's see. So we've got 3 damage. We've got 3, 3, 2, another 3, another 2. So that's 13 damage already. Oh, no. That leaves us with 17 health. No, it doesn't, because the back ones can't get us. Okay, so that's 3, 3, 2, so that's 8 damage. I apologize. So we have 22 health. We're alright. So, obviously we're going to do a slashing blade. So, this dude is dead. She is going to do quick aim and kill this back. So we're doing good. We're doing okay. Which also means that this guy, I think they attack and then after that they'll move down. We should double check in the book. I'm not 100% sure with that. Okay, so after they attack, that's when they move and a new round begins. Got it. 2, 3, so that's 5 damage. We're on 17. Then this guy moves down. Easy peasy. Easy peasy. Right. So, he's now in 1. So we're going to do our slashing blade to deal damage. So he's down. And then she's going to do her quick aim. Just damage. So try and get this. So that's another 5 damage to us. So we're on 12. And then she's gonna aim for him. 2 slashing. There we go. Attack us for 2, so we're at 10. See, this is... You lose health pretty fast in this, so I'm gonna have to be really smart about this as the fights get harder. So there's that. So, obviously, Slashing Blade deals 2 damage. And she does her 1 damage. Hits us for 2, which leaves us with 8. But, no. There we go. That's our first match done. We've killed them all. We're good. Your team, if your team is victorious, turn to 109. That's an interesting way of doing it. I'm not used to it being that way, but I appreciate how different it is. I like it. I know that later on, being strategic, I can't pronounce that word. Never been able to pronounce it. You're just going to get the whole freaking Noah dictionary of words I can't pronounce apparently in this one. Okay, 109 we turn to. The goblins lie in a tumble of bodies. Black blood splattered against the stonework. Johann picks his way over to the hobgoblin who is back to a wall, his chest heaving with ragged breaths. Now, perhaps we can finally get to the amicable arrangement. Hobgoblin leers back, his pig-like nose snorting. Not gonna tell you anything. Well, that would be foolish. Johann moves the tip of his sword to rest against the hobgoblin's throat. Just tell me what's going on down here and I might even let you live. The creature blows out a dispirited laugh, bloody phlegm stringing from cracked lips. I'm done for. Not going to be living long, am I? His eyes flick to Scarlet, then back to Johann. You're too late. Too late for what? Asked Scarlet, furrowing her brow. He looks back at her, eyes narrowing. Striker, the bones. Scarlet stares back with a slight shake of her. You don't know, do you? Hobgoblin gives a series of pained grunts that might pass for laughter. They're digging them up for months. A lot of interest in old bones. You keep mentioning those. Johann takes an impatient breath. Are we talking tomb robbery? Remains of the Peril family, perhaps? Hobgoblin opens his mouth to reply, but the words are snatched away as his body goes into spasm. Legs kicking and scraping in the dirt. A moment later, and he lies still, head lolling back against the wall, eyes staring sightlessly in death. Oh, what a bother, tuts Johann. We're just getting to the juicy bits. This might help. Scarlet is crouched next to one of the goblin bodies. She tugs a scrap of parchment loose from a pocket and picks it apart. This one has a map. There we go. This is the map. Goblin maps are rarely dependable, sighs Johann. Let me see. Better than nothing. Scarlet steps out to stuff the map in Johann's outstretched hand. He studies it with a somewhat disgusted frown. You have now gained a goblin map. Your team has also gained 1 experience point. Let me mark that down. So we've got 1 XP. And we have a goblin map. After several minutes of thoughtful review, Johann finally folds up the map and tucks it into his belt. Glances around at the array of bodies. We should probably press on quickly. Put some distance between ourselves and this despicable mess. Turn to 106. The heroes head deeper into the catacombs, passing further side chambers cramped with rubble and the remains of stone coffins, all empty and looted, much to Scarlet's bargain. Did you know there's a popular Perova saying, "You're never more than 6 feet away from a rat"? Johann glances back at Scarlet with a wry grin. Scarlet glares back, not amused. They say the same thing about the dead. She gestures to another rubble-filled vault. I thought there'd be magical traps or ghostly phantoms, at least something to protect these tombs and their treasure. Probably was, once upon a time, nods Johann. This place is easily a few thousand years old. Initial foundations at least, no doubt built upon, expanded. Whatever magic may have once guarded this place has no doubt been broken or weakened. Scarlet snorts out of breath. Not sure that's so good. Means nothing down here for us. Johann raises a hand for silence, then gestures to the junction ahead, picked out by the light of his sword. Let's still be somewhat cautious. You hear that? By the gods, the stink. Scarlet screws up her face as a waft of foul air hits her, a sour stench of rotted meat and earth. God, what the hells is that? She gasps, putting the back of her hand to her nose. The stench is coming from a natural tunnel opposite, breaking into the passageway with a spillage of broken rock and dust. Either side of the opening, the passage itself spills into 2 torch-lined corridors. To the left there is the distant sound of guttural singing and a rhythmic meaty thud. To the right, a gentle tinkling music, almost too faint to pick up clearly. Johann wrinkles his. I smell troll. That's bad. Really? I smell a whole lot of things, and I said it's worse than troll. Scarlet glares at the broken opening from which the revolting stink is billowing heavy on the air. So, will our team take the left passage towards the singing, take the right passage towards the music, or investigate the tunnel with the horrible smell? See, what I would do, smell's going to be the troll. That's my logical thinking. I don't want to go towards the singing. I kind of want to not take too much damage. We took a lot of damage just from them few that we did. Troll's bad news. That's probably going to hurt a lot. Though then again, we do get XP. And XP, we level up. And we can spread it out among our people. But I kind of want to know what the music is. So we're going to go to 114. Because I don't think I'm ready to be killed just yet. Because you can die pretty fast. The music is clearly coming from the next chamber, a harmonious melody that is both enchanting and soothing, and seemingly at odds with the cloying, musty stink that hangs thick in the air. Cautiously, the pair of heroes enter the chamber, weapons readied, turn to 31. It's so well written. This expansive chamber may have once had a dignified purpose, as evidenced by the decorative pillars and arches surrounding a circular sunken pool. Perhaps a place of meditation or quiet reflection, somewhere to solemnly ponder the state of life and death. But that was before the trolls moved in. The pool has been filled with a foul-smelling sludge. Sprawled across its length is a sore-riddled mass of corpulent flesh, thick rolls bulging from what might pass as scanty underclothes. This enormous female troll is nibbling at the last scraps of meat off a bone, her tongue licking the grease from her lips and tusks. Ratty bedclothes litter the ground, as well as the lumpy straw mattress covered in filth. I went the wrong. Oh no. Two large hulking trolls are sat at a rickety-looking table, its surface covered in bones and food scraps. One troll is currently giggling to himself in a childish manner as he watches a cockroach scuttle around the tabletop, his meaty hands battling it back into the middle if it gets too close to the edge. His companion, an even taller and wider troll, with a scarred split running through the middle of his forehead, is swaying to the music as if in some dreamlike trance. The source of the music is a beautiful golden harp, standing clean and shiny amidst the mad ditties that seems to coat every other. Its delicate strings hum with a soft, gentle light as they are plucked in sequence by some invisible magic. Sonorous tune is both effortless and masterful, a piece of music better suited to a royal court or noble's palace. Johan and Scarlet are lost for words as they take in the horrific scene, their eyes finally returning to the obese female troll. She is now glaring back at them with a similar expression of shocked disgust. If you have the word delivery, turn to 127, otherwise turn to 44. Well, obviously I don't have that word, so 44 we go to. Where's my food? She bellows, her voice deep and loud enough to make the very stones tremble. I'm hungry. She tosses away the bone, which clatters across the floor to join the hundreds of others. Food? Croaks Johan, the stink of mud and troll sweat still hitting the back of his throat. Maybe they are the food, Ma, says the smaller troll, who is now holding the squirming cockroach between two fingers. He proceeds to drop the insect into his mouth, swallowing it whole. You're right, Tiny. You're always right. Female grunts as she raises one enormous arm from the mud. A fat finger pointed towards Johan and Scarlet. You look tasty enough. More meat in you than a goblin. Get to it, boys. Stools scrape across the stone floor as the two male trolls stumble to their feet. Fat stomachs spilling out from under threadbare leather jerkins. The smallest one snatches up a meat cleaver that was resting against the wall. The other, heavy-lidded and still looking half asleep, fumbles to lift a huge mallet, its stone head crusted with blood and dead insects. Both stumble forward, seemingly sluggish in their movements, but formidable all the same. Turn to combat chart 19, the Battle of the Troll Brothers. Okay, so we're not doing all three, we're doing the Troll Brothers. This is good. Don't know what these mean, though. Okay, so what this means here, if this monster group has a health remaining at the end of a combat round, then this group restores 1 health. Okay, so they both have that. Okay. I'm going to kill this one first with a slashing blade from Johan. And with Scarlet, we're going to aim at this. We've not hurt these, so that's fine, they don't heal. But they will hurt us. 4 damage. So we are at 26. Now our turn. I think these can only move down when these ones are gone, maybe? Or can they move across? I'm not sure. I'm going to just take it as it is. Fine. I will do it that way. This is the simplest way I can do it, I think. I'm sure Michael will definitely let us know if we're doing that wrong. Probably when one's down, one can just move across. Probably. But I'm going to just do it as if these are her. The other thing that we can do with us is we do flashing blade. And then she's going to hurt 1 for 1 damage. They're going to hurt us for 4 damage, which leaves us with 22. But he does heal for 1. Back to us. He's going to do 2. I'm going to leave that one blank because he's going to heal anyway. And Scarlet's going to kill this dude. They're going to hurt us for another 4. which leaves us with 18. I don't know if we're going to hurt him. That one, and that one. I would say she hurts him, but that's going to heal in a second. So we get hurt for another 4 from 14 health. Party's at 14 health. We kill him. That one's dead, so it's literally these two. And then Scarlet's going to get hurt for 2 damage. But he's going to heal on his turn. He's going to hurt 2. 10. Only way I can think of how it works because they're like that. It hurt us. It healed. He's going to kill that one, and then we're going to hit this one. We're going to put one little cross through down. There we go. just to make this a little bit bigger for people. Yeah, we're going to get hurt. But we're at 8 health. That's been killed, so now we can just focus on this one. We're going to do that and that. I would put another one down for Scarlet, but it's going to heal. It's going to hurt us for 2. So we're on 6 health. But we're now going to wipe them out. Turn to 10 because we killed them. That's rough. I like that they've got like special things that they can do that they can heal. So that's I like. So we're now going to be at 30 health again. My only worry is we still have the female one. So let's just move to, well, turn to 10. The trolls have strength and size in their favor, but their clumsy attacks are slow and uncoordinated. Johan and Scarlet are able to dodge and weave with ease, landing blows to stagger and confuse their slow-witted adversaries. As the trolls start to tire, the larger male with the mallet makes a hasty swing, which Johan agilely ducks beneath, leaving it to thud straight into Tiny's stomach. The younger troll gives a wheezy gasp as he is sent flailing into the nearest wall, his cleaver clattering away across the bone-strewn ground. Scarlet gives the weapon a kick for good measure, ensuring it is well out of reach. "Oh, enough, you pair of buffoons," bellows the female. "Lucky, put your weapon away, before you bring the old place down on us." Scarlet troll teeters slightly, looking dizzy and confused. He looks down at his mallet, then appears to find something slightly appetizing on the end. He starts picking at what might have been a beetle, popping the bits of gooey shell into his mouth with a satisfied smile. Scarlet turns away in disgust, her gaze settling on the female. She raises her bow, pulling back another arrow. "Start talking," she says with a stern glare. "What's going on here?" The female inhales a deep breath, then leans her head to one side, beady eyes flickering to the top. "Silence!" she thunders. The harp immediately ceases its playing, throwing the chamber into a quiet stillness, broken only by Tiny's wheezing moans coming from the far wall. "You'll address me properly, missy," says the troll, mud squelching as a giant arm reaches out to grab a comb of finger bones. He proceeds to pass the ghastly tool through the greasy strands of her hair. I love this troll so much. "I'm Mammy Spew. Spew. I'm Mammy Spew. And those two are my youngest, Tiny and Lucky." Scarlet spares a glance towards Lucky, who is still picking at his mallet, wondering for a moment what could possibly have earned him the name. Perhaps surviving whatever split his forehead in two. Johan scratches at his jaw. "Are you in charge around here?" he asks. Mammy Spew tugs her comb free, several lice now crawling and squirming over its bones. "Dracula thinks she is, but I'm really the number one, because without me this little operation wouldn't be working." "Operation?" Johan raises a quizzical eyebrow. "Tell me more." Mammy works her jaw as she clearly mulls over what to share. Then, with a gravelly sigh, she shrugs her enormous shoulders. "Oh, what's it matter? Draka need... Oh, I don't know if it's Dryka? I'm going to say Dryka. I may be saying that one as well. It's Draica. Dryker, yeah. Needed muscle, and my boys have plenty of that. Not those little runts. She flicks a finger towards Tiny and Lucky. My biggest sons know how to handle a pick and a hammer, and smash through walls that they were made of mud. She slaps a hand into the sludge. They get the work done, and I get treated like the queen that I am. Her beady eyes shift to the golden harp. Johan nods. So your troll's been opening up some of the caves and chambers? He taps his chin with a finger. What is Dryker looking for exactly? Mammy spew blows out her cheek. Why do I care? Some old bones, I think. She glances down at the comb. Not goblin or troll bones. Something bigger and more important. Are we getting food, Ma? Asked Tiny in a small, hurt voice, rubbing his belly where the mallet had landed. My tummy is rumbly. Shut it, you dimwit. Mammy is talking. He gives a little whimper in response. Johan clears his throat to regain attention. Look, where can we find this Dryker? Yes. Mammy jerks a thumb in the direction of another passageway. Its rough-hewn walls lined with spluttering torches. Keep going straight. She's somewhere that away. Always busy, never got time for anyone else. Probably got her nose in a book. A book of all things! Mammy gives a rumbling snigger as if the very idea is completely abhorrent. Now, Mammy needs her nap time, so push off and bother someone else. Music! Her voice bellows across the chamber, rattling everything from floor to ceiling. Suddenly, the room is filled once again with a tranquil and soothing melody. Our cue to leave, stated Scarlet, lowering her bow and clearly looking relieved at the thought of escaping this revolting location. Johan gives the female troll a grateful nod, then leads the way into the indicated passageway. Your team has gained 1 experience point. Once you have updated your team sheet, turn to 50. So, we have 2 XP, we've got a golden map, and our health is back up to 30. And I think that's a good place to end it. We nearly died to some trolls, but I'm enjoying the book. And I'm excited to level up. I think we need 4 XP to get to the next bit. So far we've got 2 XP. I am enjoying this a lot. I think Scarlet, the artwork for Scarlet, by the way, looks badass as fuck. And Johan, I'm excited. Look at his little claws. Anyway, that is part 1. We got part 2 coming up. Again, we will be doing a part 2 anyway. If you've been playing DestinyQuest, Raiders at least, let me know how it's been going for you. Where have you got up to without giving spoilers? But definitely a fun book to play. I appreciate how different it is compared to his other work. Sorry, I've got hiccups. His other DestinyQuest that he's done. But I will be continuing with this. We'll be doing a part 2. It'll be a bit longer than this, what we've done. But this is just a kind of an introduction to the book so far. So, thanks for watching. Cheers!